All right, hello and welcome to Fit Essentials. I'm Shauna. I'll be guiding you through. We get this lovely backdrop once again here in St. George, Utah. We're gonna do a little bit different format this morning. We're gonna start down at the floor, warm up the wrists and forearms. If you are using your B3 bands, we've just added air before we started, so you'll wanna go ahead and do that. Our first series, after we do a little bit of breathing, you'll have the option if you wanna elevate your feet. I'm using this little step stool here. I'll elevate my feet on a chair, a end table, anything that's stable enough that your feet can be pushing down on is great as well. And also you can just do glute bridges without the elevation. So either way, it's not a problem. Just wanted to give you that heads up for anyone that wants to grab that prop. And otherwise we'll be using some dumbbells later on, anything else that you have. Otherwise, let's go ahead and start on hands and knees. We're going to stretch out our forearms, do a few cat-cows, and then we'll get rolling on our first circuit. So hands and knees, go ahead and rotate those palms down towards the floor with the fingers pointing in towards you. Draw that belly in and just gently lean back. Welcome, Amy. You can turn your video on. It's also always great to be able to see you. And a nice gentle stretch here. We got quite a bit of work down on the hands today. And then next, we're going to rotate so that the fingers face in towards one another. You can interlace those fingers. And now we're going to just lightly rotate around 2 to 3 times each direction. When you're ready, circle the other direction. Very good. Coming to a kneeling position. Backs of the hands come together, fingers point down. Draw those shoulders down and draw those elbows down. Stay nice and tall. Fantastic. Go ahead and just little circles. Way. Fantastic. And now we're going to go into about 3 to 5 cycles of a cat-cow. So set the knees, draw the belly in, nice wide handprint. When you're ready, on the exhale, you're going to lift up through that mid-back, draw that chin into the chest, and then on the inhale, softly arch. Sync up with your breathing, what feels best to your body. Very nice. Try to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. When you're ready, big toes come together, knees divide, and just lightly lower on down in a child's position. Get a nice opening through the outsides of the torso and that low back. And those of you that maybe came on a little bit late, if you want to have any kind of bench or step stool around, we're going to have the option for elevated feet in place of the glute bridge on set 2. All right, when you're ready, let's go ahead and come onto your back. We're going to be working for 6 minutes on this next circuit. We're going to start in about 20 seconds. You can move with me or you can move at your own tempo. We're going for 12 reps of a glute bridge, and then we're going to come on to hands and feet for our down dog, knee to elbow, 6 reps on each side. So I'm going to start with my feet flat on the ground. On round 2, I'm going to do 12 reps of the feet elevated. Getting on down in 3, 2, 1, starting with that glute bridge. Count your own reps, up and down for 12, driving your knees out. And don't worry about speed here. Just stay strong, moving smooth. You can pause in the top. See how your low back's feeling, pushing your knees out nice and wide. Breathe in as you lower down. Exhale as you elevate those hips up. Number 10 for myself. I'm going to go 2 more. And then anyone that doesn't know that down dog knee to elbow, just watch the first couple of reps. All righty. Anytime you need to add a stretch or anything in, by all means. Now for the down dog knee to elbow, really key, wide handprint. You're going to support a lot through those hands. Turn the toes under. Just like you would imagine, you're going to push back into down dog. As you come up and forward, we're starting with the same side knee to the same side elbow. That would be 1. Pushing on back. Opposite knee comes to the same side elbow. That's 2. We're going 6 times on each leg. Breathe in as you push back. Breathe out as you push back. Breathe in as you come forward, really lifting up to that mid body. Beautiful. This is our second exercise. And then after you finish 12 here, you're going to return to your back with the option to either do the same exercise with the feet on the ground, or you can elevate those feet up. Very good. We're 2 minutes in, and we're going to be doing this for another 4 minutes, just cycling through these two exercises. So returning to the back, get yourself into a good position, feet on the bench if you choose to elevate. And whenever you're ready, you'll start your 12 up and down. Same reps of each exercise. Gives a chance for those of you that maybe want to move a little bit faster, have a little bit more intensity. Try to keep your knees out the whole time on these bridges. So as you lower down, try not to let your knees come in towards one another. Breathe in as you lower, breathe out as you elevate. Also focus to draw that chin in towards the chest as your hips raise up. And as you go back to that knee to elbow, if you want to create a little variation for that exercise, you can take the knee towards the opposite elbow on set 2. We're halfway through our 3 minutes, or our 6 minutes, excuse me. Transitioning whenever you're ready. 6 on each side. Take your time to sink back, allow those heels to lower down towards the mat. Moving well. All right, good stuff. That's great, everybody. Use that down dog as a good opener for that mid back. And then as you finish, returning to either the bridge or the hamstring curl. Less than 2 minutes left. Sticking with that 12 reps. If you lose count, no problem. Just get a nice bird and then switch exercises. Really think about trying to lengthen through that low back when you're doing those bridges. Avoid kind of going to that pinching sensation. Whew. Waking up the back side of the body, making your way around. We have just over a minute to go. So it'll be my last set of the down dog knee to elbow. I'm going to stick with that elbow coming across, or excuse me, knee coming across to the opposite elbow. When you're ready. "45 seconds until we take a rest." After you finish this 6 minutes, we're going to be having a 1 minute break. We'll do a little bit of stretching, and then we're going to have a 2 minute challenge, practicing our forearm plank endurance, seeing how long we can hold that plank from the forearms. 20 seconds. I'm just going to stay here on this knee to elbow. Anybody wants to go back to bridges, you're welcome to it. 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, wherever you are, take a pause. Let's take it into child's position. This time we'll go a supinated position. Little fingers together, palms up towards the sky. Rock the hips back from here and lower on down. Very good. Anytime you want to come up out of that, feel free if you want to grab a drink of water. We have 30 seconds, and at 30 seconds, we're going to start a 2 minute clock for our forearm plank. I'm going to grab my water here. And I'll look to give you kind of benchmarks as we move on, starting with 30 seconds and then every 15 after that. Your job is to hold really good technique, not let those hips drop down, not let that belly button drop down and have that low back arch. And then if you need to come out of the plank, just come out of it whenever you need. You can always join back in. Otherwise, on your forearms. So palms down on your forearms and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. When I hold nice and level, we want to avoid piking those hips up, and we especially want to avoid arching those hips down. So keep them level to those shoulders. Chin in and breathe, looking right between those arms. Also want to think about not dropping into those shoulders. So lift up between those shoulder blades, engage the glutes, engage the thighs. And we are 30 seconds in, so keep holding strong. Watch that sink of the hips. Woo. Breathe through that burn. That's 45 seconds. I'll continue to give you every 15. Again, if you need to take a pause, take a pause. Got a 2-minute clock going. And right now, that's halfway. There's our minute mark. Drawing that chin in, looking straight forward. Avoid holding your breath. Woo! That's a minute 15. Lifting and holding. All right, there's a minute 30, 90 seconds in. That's usually a good benchmark that we look for initially to give people a goal for some midline endurance. And if you can get to that full 2 minutes, that's fantastic. Good, we're at 1:45. Looking strong, ladies. The gentlemen on the recording, less than 10 seconds till we get to that full 2 minutes. Holding tight, and 3, 2, 1, come on down. Woo! Just come to a kneeling position. We'll kind of shake out those arms. Well done. Awesome job. All right, when you're ready, gradually make your way up to standing. We're gonna do a little bit of stretching, and then we'll get into our next circuit. Good stuff. Feel free to grab a drink as you come up. Doesn't feel cold here anymore in St. George. All right, we're gonna start with our quad stretch from standing, and then we're gonna get moving into our second circuit. So standing tall, draw those shoulders back, grabbing one foot. Balance is a little bit off. Make sure you don't arch that lower spine, soft bend in the knee. And then when you're ready, same thing, other leg. Set it down, draw everything up and in, grabbing that other foot. 3 exercises in this next circuit. The first one is from standing, alternating knee to elbow. So similar to our down dog, but now from standing. Now we're going to go into our squatting with the option at overhead reach called our Goblet Thruster. Shake out that leg, inner thigh stretch next. Feet nice and wide. And then we'll finish down on the floor with that Renegade Row. Having a dumbbell between the hands or one in each hand and rowing one side and then the other. Keep the feet nice and planted here, sinking into it. Let's go one more each way. Toes grip down, activating the arch of the foot, knee drives out. Good, and really focused, eyes up, chest tall. There you go. Nice, Amy, good, Jean. Smooth, Kathy. And walk those feet in. All right, so watching for a second, I'm gonna show you 2 reps of each exercise. Knee to elbow, just like so. Thruster, if you all wanna warm up your squats while I'm showing you these, you can do a few squats here. The thruster will be with or without weight. If you don't use weight, you can squat down and just raise your arms up to overhead. Down and up. And then the third exercise, down on the ground, feet a little bit wider than your normal push-up. You'll draw one arm up, set it down, and then to the other side. 45 seconds on each, roughly 15 seconds in between, and we're gonna go 3 rounds through. Those of you wearing the bands, you got about 5 more minutes, and then we'll be letting the air out. So just listen for that cue. All right, let me know if there's any questions. Otherwise, we're gonna get started here in 15 seconds. That standing knee to elbow is first. Nice deep breaths. Feel free to shake out those arms, drawing up through that midline. And 2, 1, begin. Breathing out as you draw that knee up and across the body. Drawing the shoulders back, standing tall. Good. Some midline work here. Also connecting the brain and the body as you cross the body. Ideally, you want to touch the knee and the opposite elbow. Good. So that's 30 seconds. 10 seconds left. Nice, really driving that knee up, trying to keep the arms, not too much movement, more movement out of the legs, and shake it out from there. Nice work. With or without weight, we've got our squat to the overhead reach next. Set the feet right about hip width apart, eyes up, and begin. So controlling down, driving your knees wide as you stand, reach those arms straight up to overhead. Breathe in as you lower, breathe out as you drive tall. First at 3 rounds. Feel free to pace yourself initially. And you can always pick up that tempo. Weight back in the heels. Good, keep it rolling. I'm just gonna come a little closer, see how everyone's looking. That's 30 seconds in. Beautiful. There we go. Nice, Amy. Good, Kathy, looking smooth. Jean, 5 seconds. Great depth, Sharon. And 2, 1, and transition. You can keep that same weight, set it underneath your chest, and making your way down for those Renegade rows. You can also do a seated row with a band if anyone's having anything that they need a break from this plank. Otherwise, as soon as you're ready, here we go. Squeeze the glutes, help activate the back side to keep the hips nice and level. And we're alternating arms here, looking to pull that elbow nice and high. Got a lot of midline work here today between the forearm plank, the Renegade rows, and we have some bear crawl in our final circuit. So really pay attention, wide handprint. Activate the arches of the hand so you take some of the load off your wrist. So maybe 1 more on each side. 2, 1, transition. All right, coming back up to standing. You can stick with that alternating knee to elbow on round 2, or if you want to vary it up, we can go behind the back, trying to reach for your opposite heel. When you're ready, 45 seconds starts now. So I'm taking the hand to the opposite foot behind me. Good. Some cross crawl practice for the brain and the body. Some balance work. I don't really feel that hamstring kind of firing as I bend my leg across. Good. Catch your breath a little bit before we go into the second round of thrusters. That's 30 seconds, 15 to go. And take up that tempo a little bit, one side and the other. As I grab onto the heel right now, I'm just tapping the sole of my foot with my fingertips. And shake it out. Nice work. Back to the thruster. So if you held one weight underneath the chin last time, if you have lighter weights, if you want to make it a little bit heavier, you could go one weight in each hand. Set the feet, eyes up, and begin. Want to go as far as we are comfortable into that squat. Knees push wide. And feel like your full foot stays in contact with the floor. Good. Breathe in as you lower, breathe out as you drive. And then watch that you don't overarch as you press high to overhead. Just standing tall. Beautiful, 10 seconds. Great pace. Last one. And we're back to the Renegades. Nice work. Coming on down. And those of you with the bands, go ahead and release the air. And back to the Renegade Rows in 3, 2, 1. Join us when you're ready. Elbow nice and high. Hips level. Looking right between the hands. One side and then the other. Good, just over halfway. Again, see how we're doing. Awesome. Good modification, Kathy, perfect. Nice, Sharon, good movements. Looks great, Kathy, 10 seconds. There you go, Jean. And 3, 2, 1. That concludes round 2. Just in case you didn't hear, we did let the air out just before that last exercise. So if you still have some air in those bands, press that nozzle. And we're getting ready for our third and final round. We're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more this set. We're going to start with our cross body punch with those high knees. So it's going to get the breathing up a little bit more. You can march here, or if you want more of a challenge, add that skip and punch. So turn up the intensity a bit for this last set. Fantastic. We're going to do this for another 10 seconds, and then I'm going to switch up to that knee to elbow, kind of catch my breath before those thrusters. So if you want to join me, slow it down just a bit here, because those thrusters can really gas you. And for this last set, you want to use the heaviest weights you feel confident with, that you can hold a good position. Take your pause, grab the weights you want to use for your thruster. As you start to get tired here, stay strong in your squats. 2, 1, begin. As we get tired, we tend to see more of a tendency to bounce in the bottom. So you want to focus on having that control through that wide range of motion. So coming down, standing tall. Awesome. 20 seconds left. Eyes up. Push tall. Final 10 seconds. Beautiful. And 2, 1, transition. Awesome job. So either a seated row with the band or coming back down for the Renegade row. Spread those hands out nice and wide. And here we are. Stretch break after this exercise. So stay strong. Feel that midline fire as you switch from one hand to the other. Fantastic. We're over halfway. Keep drawing that chin in so that neck doesn't start to extend. And lift up strong out of those shoulders. Woo! Engage the glutes. And 2, 1, transition. Are done. Take a break. Let's grab a drink of water. We're gonna do a little bit of stretching before we come into our final circuit. If anybody was looking for more of a half-hour stimulus today, then just stick with us for this cool down stretch. And you don't have to do that last circuit. It's always an option. All right, we're gonna stay down here on the mat for a moment, and we're gonna open up the inner thigh. So wide handprint, kick the one leg out to the side, sole of the foot down to the floor, and you're gonna rock the hips back from here. If your left leg is out, take your left arm, reach across to that right hand, and lower that head on down. Breathing for about 2 to 3 breaths, and then you're gonna rock forward, coming back forward onto the hands, And then rock back one more time for 2 to 3 breaths on that same side. Head lowers down, chin in. Good. When you're ready, switch legs. The other leg kicks out. Try not to be on the side of the foot, but sole the foot down towards the floor. If it's the right leg, the right hand comes across, and then lower the hips back from there. Breathing 2 to 3 times, then we'll rock forward once more. Stay with that same leg, rocking on back, lower that head down. Last time on the side. Good, as you finish that, I want you to swing over onto your back. We're gonna loosen up that low back as we have some deadlifts coming up next. Also works well for a cool down stretch for anyone that chooses. So onto the back, hug those legs into the chest to start, and then gently rock your body side to side. On that double kneaded chest, splay the arms wide like you're trying to mimic a scarecrow. Arms up at 90 degrees, legs together, and then taking it into the 2-knee twist. Both legs come across, turn the head, look over the other shoulder. Breathing there for a couple of cycles, and then sweep both legs across, and then turn the head the other direction. Good. When you're ready, one more time on each side. And back to the second side. Good. From there, feet flat on the ground, about the width of your hips or yoga mats, and then our windshield wiper movement through the hips. So both knees come to one side, tilt your feet onto the sides of the feet as you do this, and then smoothly come across the opposite side. We'll get about 2 to 3 touches on each side, windshield wipers for the hips. Nice. Beautiful. And then as you finish that, we're going to go one more here on the back. We're going to draw the shoulders underneath. We're going to hold a bridge position next. So we're going to raise those hips up. If you're able to interlace the hands underneath your low back or underneath your torso, and then really think about opening up through that chest and heart. Raise those hips up, draw that chin into the chest, and breathing here. Check the time. I'm going to go about 30 more seconds here. Continue to raise up to the hips. If you need to rest, just lower those hips down and come back in when you're ready, looking to avoid that pinching sensation, that lower spine. So trying to elongate as you raise those hips up. Lengthen the back of the neck as well, chin down to the chest. And then when you're ready, release your hands, slowly lower on down, and return back to that double kneaded chest, rocking the body side to side. All right, if you're not joining us for our last set, that concludes that cool down stretch. If you are going to join us for the next set, go ahead and roll on over, gradually make your way back up to standing, and we're going to get ready. We'll do a couple more stretches from standing until we go into our deadlift and bear crawl. All right, so as you come up, grab a drink of water, and we're going to do our toe touch stretch first. So walking your feet in, so the toes are pointing straight forward. Lift on up out of the hips, soft bend in the knees, chin to the chest, and then gently slide the hands down, allowing the spine to slightly round here. Get a nice stretch and opening through the back of the body. Take about 2 to 3 breaths in the bottom. See where your range of motion is today, and then when you're ready, gradually make your way on up. Very nice. And then as you come on up to standing, let's take it into our hip circles next. Feet a little bit wider and just loosen up that low back, nice and smooth. Good. Reverse directions when you're ready. Good. And then our last movement piece, we're going to mimic the deadlift a little bit better this time. So instead of allowing our spine to round, now we're going to practice holding that nice flat chest or flat back. So set those feet, draw your belly in. You want to kind of make sure that you're not letting your pelvis rock forward. So hips rock back, belly draws in. We're going to take the hands behind the head with a gentle bend in the knees. Jean already knows what we're going to do here. We're going to send those hips back, lower that chest towards the floor. Nice flat spine. Good. Chin draws in. And if you could, crew that's here live, turn sideways to your camera so I can see that back angle. So Amy, if you can turn sideways, over and up. Let's go about 1 or 2 more. Now, long spine. Good. There you go. Thank you, Amy. Nice. And then Sharon, if you can tilt your screen up a little bit, I can only see like your feet and knees. I can't quite see your upper torso. Yep. And resting from there. So Amy, just make sure you don't overarch the spine. You're one, I know you personally well enough that you're pretty flexible in that low back. So really make sure you keep a nice flat back. We don't want to overarch that lower spine. That looks better. Yep. And then we don't need to go beyond that 90 degree to the floor. So once we're like looking down the floor, standing tall from there. All right, friends, find a moderate weight. We're going to be doing just 2 rounds of this. So 1 minute of each exercise, 1 minute of the deadlift practice, 1 minute of some bear crawl work, and then we'll do that twice through with about a 1 minute rest in between sets. So this is where you want to pick up the heavier weights that you have available, whether you hold 1 weight between the legs or whether you hold 2 weights. You can either hold them between the legs or on the outer sides of the legs if that feels better. I'm going to be demoing from this, we call it a sumo position. We hold it between the feet. So standing tall, midline drawn in, 2, 1, here we go. That long spine position, squeeze the glute and stand. Breathe into lower, exhale as you stand tall. Good. Over and up, nice. Knees push wide. Looking here. Nice. Good. Amy, keep the weights a little bit closer to your legs. So don't feel like you're reaching out in front of you at all. You want to be able to put them like right between the ankles. That's better. Hips go back. Looks nice, Jean. Good, Kathy. Locked in strong, Sharon. Very nice. Good. 15 seconds left. And then one more piece I want to note, those of you that are moving with your dumbbells, that when you have to go all the way down, you're almost reaching to about the level of your ankles. If you feel like you're overstretching a little bit to get there, just go to about mid-shin and then stand. Last rep and rest. All right. Again, if you need a break from being on the hands during this bear crawl, you could do like a running high knees, a march and punch, anything up on the feet. Otherwise, spread those fingers nice and wide, starting on hands and knees. You're going to barely lift those knees off the ground. And then when you're ready, right hand with the left leg, left hand with the right leg. Trying to keep your spine as flat as you can to where if I had a little mini, like a little saucer plate, I could rest that plate onto your low back and your goal would be not to let it topple over. So breathing here, forward for a few steps and then backwards for a few steps, really emphasizing pushing through the heel of your hand. Good, halfway through. Draw your chin in, looking straight down between the hands. Good. This is one of our harder cross crawl pieces, working that opposite side to the body. 10 seconds. And 2, 1, and take a break. Nice job. We're gonna take about 30 seconds. We'll do just a little stretch of shaking out those arms. As you come back up to your feet, kind of rotate through that torso. And we're gonna go one more time through deadlift and bear crawl or your choice of blood flow. All right, 20 seconds till we start. You wanna get the heaviest weight you feel comfortable to lift. As you set that weight down by your feet, stand up nice and tall, draw the belly in, soft bend the knees. And here we go. Long spine. Stacking those shoulders right over the hips as you stand up tall. Breathe into lower. Exhale as you stand. Feel like you're really pinning those shoulders back and down as well. That's going to help keep that weight close to your center of gravity. Wonderful. Bending down, picking up laundry baskets, grocery bags. Practicing those mechanics. We are well over halfway. 20 seconds left. Some more extended pieces today, working on some endurance. Good, about 3 more reps. And last one. Set it down well. And let's get ready for that last set of bear crawl. And then we'll have our final cool down stretch. All right, remember hands and knees to start. Starfish those hands, meaning how wide can you splay those fingers? Just barely lift those knees off the ground. And here we go. Chin in, looking straight between your arms. Looking to coordinate the left hand, right leg, left hand. The goal is to lift up the opposite side of the body and move it at the same time. All the while, keeping those hips level to the shoulders. These are the exercises that help you to stay young, staying down on the ground, able to move with coordination, challenge the brain and challenge the body all at once. We have 15 seconds left. Keep that strong support to the shoulders. Almost there. And 2, 1, and take a rest. Woo, nice work. Grab a drink, and then we're gonna stay down here for our cool down stretch. All right, great work, everyone. Just start really simple. I'm sitting back. If you're comfortable if you can sit with your bottoms of your feet up and sitting back on your ankles, it's a good stretch. Open up to those ankles and keep that range of motion. And then from here, we'll sit up nice and tall and just start to loosen up the neck a little bit. So nice gentle circles, chin down to the chest. Circle the head around about 2 to 3 times each direction. Never forcing, especially with the neck. When you're ready, circle the other way. Very good. If you can keep sitting on your feet, we'll do one more stretch here and then we'll come off our feet. We're gonna do our tricep stretch next. So sitting tall, raise one arm up in the air, draw that chin in, bend that arm. You're trying to scratch the back and you're gonna reach up, grab that elbow, breathe in, and then on the exhale, if you're able to lightly bend to the side. We'll go about 3 times here. Breathing, come back to that tall position. And then on the exhale, you'll lightly lean to the side. Good, one more. We'll bend to the side. And now on this one, slightly rotate like you're trying to glance up to the ceiling or sky. Pass the arm you're stretching. And release. Great job. Same thing, opposite arm. Raise it up. Chin in. Bend that elbow. I'm going to come up to a tall kneel here. Reach around. Pull that elbow back. And then as you choose, a nice gentle bend away from the side that you're stretching. Breathing in, back to center, chin draws in, and breathing out, taking it to the side. Good, on this third one, we'll add that rotation. So side bend first, and then ever so gently look up past the elbow on the side that you're stretching. Breathing there, and release. Great job. All right, let's come back up to standing. We're gonna do our behind the back stretch here. Standing tall, walk those feet out wide. Ribs down so we don't go into that sway back posture here. Bend into your knees as you interlace those hands behind you, lifting on up. And then long spine here as we send those hips back and draw the arms straight over top. Let gravity pull your head down while you stay strong in those legs. And then when you're ready, on that next breath, gradually come back up tall. Alrighty, fantastic. Last sequence here, we're gonna inchworm our way down. We're gonna be doing our down dog into our pigeon and our seated twist. So slowly walk yourself out, returning back to hands and knees. Wide handprint. Now we're gonna go into down dog first, hips come up. Take your time to open up the mid back on this one now. So we'll gently pulse the chest between the arms. Rock it forward or rock it back. And pedal out those heels. Nice stretch for the calves. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna start with your right leg. It's gonna be my left, so we can mirror each other. You're gonna take your right leg, point the toe, extend that leg nice and high to the sky, engaging that glute, and then we're gonna glide it forward, looking to square the hips and shoulders. You can bring a yoga block into the picture here, and a support on that as needed. Otherwise, stay engaged through this pigeon position. Breathing. If you're pretty mobile here, if you want to grab the back foot, you can. Staying tall. Another 2 to 3 breaths here. Very good. If you are holding that back foot, go ahead and release that foot. You're going to sit down onto your right hip, and then your left leg is going to swing around for our seated twist. Sit up nice and tall. Start by hugging that leg in towards your chest. And now you're going to think about starting to look over your left shoulder. Initially holding both arms. And then if you want to go deeper into the twist, you can take that left hand, reach behind you, crawling around, and you can work your right elbow on the front of that left thigh. So as we breathe in, want to really focus to lengthen through the spine. As you breathe out, hold that length and gently rotate a bit farther. Think long through the neck and chest and draw that left shoulder back and down. 1 or 2 more breaths. Good. When you're ready, slowly unwind. All right, we're going to make our way back into down dog, and we're going to do it one more time to balance out the other side of the body. Coming back down to all fours, turn those toes under, hips go up. And let's, from the start here, start with those heels, stretching out the calves, lowering one heel down and then the other. And now this time it's going to be your left leg that you're going to extend up and back. So when you're ready, point the toe, drive that leg up towards the sky. And then from here, glide it forward. Try to square the shin to your torso and shoulders. Shoulders down and back, sitting nice and tall. Breathing. If you'd like, you can bend that back leg. If you're able to reach around, drawing that shoulder back. Nice, crew. Worry about forcing, just nice and gentle. Good. If you're holding that back foot, when you're ready, gently release that foot. Now you're going to sit onto your left hip, and your right leg's going to come around. Sitting up nice and tall, right up on the sit bone. Shoulders back and down as you hug that leg in. Starting to turn the torso, looking over your right shoulder now. And then when you're ready, you can take that right hand, reaching behind, crawl those fingers around, and working your left elbow on the right thigh. Breathe in to lengthen. Exhale as you rotate. Fantastic. Go ahead and unwind from there. I don't have any chimes out this morning, but as always, I do welcome you if you want to go ahead and take a moment flat on your back. You reach your arms up to overhead and just take some time to breathe. Feel your body still. We are so common even if we're working, if we're retired, if we're on vacation, there's always that tendency to rush. But there's a lot of benefit if we can just give ourselves those moments to stay calm, to be still. Those of you that have animals around your house, I know we've got some puppies here that we're going to do a little puppy show and tell, but you'll see those animals, they take their time and they'll be moving around, playing around, and then they'll just stop. And they have those moments of stillness. So as humans, we need to remember to do that for ourselves. All right, everyone, hang out there as long as you'd like. Thanks for being here today. And we'll be back here tomorrow, this hour on the second class. Take care.